Hi guys, welcome back to the Astro Imaging channel. Tonight's session, we called it a processing challenge. NGC 6726, data provided by Eric Coles. So this is the Cave Nebula, one that I've always found difficult, and in chatting with Eric, he finds this one easy. So go figure, we're all going to differ a bit. But one thing I will say is this data is amazing, and he's provided it to us for free to process with. Before I get started with any of that, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to our image of the week. Right here, I see 1848 by Bray Falls. And this is, of course, a Sol Nebula. His description of it, let's see if I can get a little bit better of a view of the image and the description. 18.5 hours integration time. Which is 7 by 3600 H alpha, 5 by 3600 S2, or no, I'm sorry, 5 by 3600 O3, and 5 by 1800 S2, bin 2 by 2, with an Orion ED80. Let's see, all captured in a red zone. So obviously doing narrowband and processed with PixInsight. So great image. As always, you can jump over to our website, click the hover over the image of the week, and click image of the week submission, and you can submit your images, or you can just click image of the week and look at what images have won, and you can even comment on them while you're on the website. That said, let me. I'm not going to pull my screen back. What I'm going to do is I am going to tell you a little bit about Eric Coles. Eric's on every so often. Well, I should say Eric's on basically every Sunday with us. But every so often Eric presents, and he has he shares a pier in some dark skies, I believe in New Mexico. And he has also just added a new setup that he shares in Australia, I believe it is. So he's shooting from very, very dark skies. Yes?
Adam, I hate to interrupt you, but can you click on, you're looking at Eric's images, can you click on that last IOTD, the inside the Pelican?
This one right here? No, I'm sorry, inside the Pelican. That right there, right?
The Pac-Man, I'm sorry, you're right.
Yes, Pac-Man, yeah.
How was APOD today? Yesterday, sorry.
Oh, really? So yeah, that's how good Eric is, and Eric's peer partner is Mel Helm, and I think between the two of them, they've got just kind of a rock-solid methodology for maintaining, acquiring data, and processing data. And
so I called him yesterday, and I said, Eric, I'm sick and tired of it. So yeah. This was his 6th, so he's doing awesome. I want to congratulate him right here.
Yeah, and these are well deserved. We see a lot of images, and we all aspire to win the APOD. Eric's won a number of them, and every single one of them has been just an amazing image. And yes, he has volunteered his data so that you could try it. Not on this particular object. The data he provided is for the Cave Nebula, which took me a little while to find earlier, is shown right here in, I'm sorry about my dog barking, in H alpha RGB. So from dark skies, able to get the RGB, but still pulling out the nebulosity with the H alpha. And then as an alternative processing to this, oops, sorry. He did it in a Hubble palette. And the Hubble palette, H alpha O3S2, pretty much an awesome job processing this one as well. So yeah, here's what you're thinking. Well, wait, he's done it in a Hubble palette and he's done it in RGB. And yes, Eric has provided RGB data H alpha data, S2 data, and O3 data, so that you can basically process the same, I'll say, professional quality data in whichever palette you choose. What I'm going to ask you to do is download his data through, download it this week, download it right now. I'm going to show you where it is. Let's see, we go back to our website. This is going to be annoying for a sec. Only for a short sec, it was annoying. Obviously, you're looking at this screen now. Right there, you might have missed it. Eric's data, you can click that. It's a Google Drive folder, and you can download it. Download it now, and that way you'll have it to start working on. It shouldn't take that long, but it is, I don't know, probably, I don't know. How big is it? I'm not quite sure. Well, either way. So I downloaded Eric's data. Let's see, was there one other thing I want to cover? Yes, there's one other thing I want to cover. First of all, we had one person who completed the data and emailed it in to me, and I hope I'm not calling you out right now, Tolga, but Tolga processed his data and posted it on Astrobin, Eric's Cave Nebula. So you can see that's one processing job right there, and Tolga's our first. I have not even had a chance to process it, but I intend to through the week. And what I am going to say, or what I'm going to do now is, am I on the right screen? Let me check. No, I am not. I'm going to go to full screen and then pop over here. And just so you can see what some of the raw data looks like, this is the RG and B data, and then the H alpha, the S2, and the O3. I'm going to pull up the red filter because that should give you a good idea of what you're really pulling out there. I just want to zoom in, and you can really see Eric did a great job with this stuff. Very, very little noise. One of the most common questions we're asked is, how long should I shoot for? How long should my exposures be? Not so much how long should my exposures be, because we can kind of explain to you how long your exposure should be in a relatively easy process but it is just a rule of thumb, I would say. But how long should the total exposures be? I shoot for 2 hours. I shoot for 8 hours. No, I shoot for 40 hours. Well, Eric is in that latter group. Eric shoots for long, long, long periods of time and basically works a lot of the noise out of the images before he even gets to processing. You still use noise reduction tools to further process, but basically you can see this stacked image. There is very, very little noise in that. And the noise that is in that is almost that kind of pretty noise. It makes it look more realistic. You would do some noise reduction just to get a little bit of the granulation out of there, but the rest of that noise just almost makes it feel a little bit more natural. So you can just see immediately the quality of this data. And yes, now you're going to have the opportunity to process it. I don't remember if I said this on the air or off the air. This is not going to be a long session. I basically just wanted to show off the data that we're going to present to you, and then basically hope that if we end soon, maybe you'll just start processing it immediately and see what you could do. What I will ask you to do is, if you process it, submit it on our website under the Image of the Week submission. And that way, I'll get a notification that you submitted it, and we'll basically cover everybody's images next week. It's not a contest or anything like that, but with two different sets of data, or I should say, with both narrowband and RGB data, you really have an opportunity to do anything creative you want. And I think between all the people in the room and on the air, just kind of watching, there's a lot of talent here, and it'll be really interesting to see what you guys can do with it. So I hear a little bit of popping over there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull up that chat. Oh, you might not even see this chat. Yeah, 206 megabytes. So I was going to say 200, but I was unsure. And yes, diffraction spikes. What kind of setup is Eric using? Let's see. Eric is Arcos. Yep.
16-inch Arcos RC.
Yep. So STXL 11002. So a large camera with a, a large sensored camera with a large telescope. You can go back. In fact, you may choose to go back and watch one of Eric's processing jobs or watch one of our processing walkthroughs. Actually, if you're a beginner and you are considering using PixInsight, what I would say is look for Alex McConaughey's tutorial, A Loaf of Bread, A Jug of Milk, and PixInsight. That's on our YouTube channel, or I'm sure you can Google a few of those keywords there and you would come up with it. Eric's also done a processing tutorial, so you could probably go to our YouTube site and probably search for Eric Cole's processing, and I'm sure you would come up with it that way. And you'll probably follow a few of these walkthroughs going through, but I think what happens is as you follow the walkthroughs, you learn the tools, and then you apply your own methods to kind of beautify that image. I am forgetting which screen I have up. Yes, right here. So I don't know. That is, I hate to say it. We get, I'm not going to say we get a lot of complaints, but our most common complaint, our most common thumbs down is that we talk on and on and on and on forever. So we're not going to do that tonight. Basically, you guys have the data in your hands. Hopefully you downloaded it. Maybe I could check the views on that folder at some point. I don't know if it lets me. Hopefully it does. Oops, lost the window. But that is basically it. I don't know if I don't know if if anyone in the rest of the room had anything they wanted to point out about the image or any tips going forward. But I think next week will be the substance of this presentation. And
maybe a month ago, Eric actually did a presentation just on this image. The name of the video is called "The Making of the Cave Nebula Image."
Yes, yes. So go back to the Making of the Cave Nebula image. I'm sorry, our video, The Making of the Cave Nebula image, and you will be able to see his walkthrough of it. And then you can probably follow along and you'll be working on the same data. So that's it. I hate, I'm looking at the time. I expected this to take a lot longer. I don't know why. Usually I plan for like a half hour and it ends up going an hour and a half. And today I planned for like 20 minutes and it ended up being 13 minutes. I just don't get it. But that's basically it. I hate to disappoint you guys with a short show like this, but like I said, the substance of the show will be next week. Spend the next 45 minutes processing this data. Maybe I'll do the same, and that way we'll have a lot to present. Like I said, post it to our website. Anything else, contact me on the website, or yeah, that's basically it. Always looking for presentations. Thanks guys for coming.